Okay, listen to me carefully as we start this deep dive. If you are right now, at this very moment, booking a trip to Phu Quoc, Vietnam, and you're thinking you're getting that deserted island fantasy, the pristine, untouched Bali of Vietnam, you need to stop that just for a second. Take a breath and reset your expectations. Because you are walking into a construction site. Now, it's a construction site that is sometimes brilliantly disguised as a tropical paradise. But the steel beams and the red dirt, they're very, very real.
And yet, and this is the huge contradiction that just defines this entire island, if you're looking for one of the most surreal, confusing, and I would argue genuinely breathtaking sunsets in all of Southeast Asia,
Right.
then you absolutely need to keep that reservation.
Right.
But you have to promise us one thing. As that sun dips below the horizon and it's painting the Gulf of Thailand in these like violent purples and oranges, just don't look behind you. Don't look at the cement mixers, the high-rise cranes, and the bulldozers that are just, well, everywhere else.
Welcome to the deep dive. I'm here to handle the immediate logistics, the on-the-ground feel, and let's call it the shocking reality that we've pulled from your source material.
And I'm here to provide the historical context, the why behind all this development, and to help you figure out the true cost and, I guess, the ultimate value of the experience you're reading about. Today, we are going all in on Phu Quoc, and we're focusing on what we're calling the tropical island transition.
And that transition is, it's rough. I mean, the island is suffering from these really severe, visible growing pains. It has a genuine identity crisis that's fascinating, but also, honestly, a little disturbing to watch.
Yeah, what is it?
Exactly. What is Phu Quoc right now? Is it still a fishing village that makes amazing fish sauce? Is it a luxury mega resort hub for, global tourism? Or is it, and this is the weirdest part, a gigantic, totally artificial copy of the Amalfi Coast in Venice that's just been, dropped onto a tropical beach?
And the answer is, it's all three at the same time. And that makes for a really messy, complicated, and often bewildering trip. So our mission here is to peel back the layers of your sources, get past the glossy marketing photos you see everywhere. We're going to expose the flaws, but also, and this is crucial, identify the moments of strategic genius that are driving all this.
And we're going to start with 3 immediate kind of contrarian surprises. These are the aha moments that you absolutely have to know before you even think about getting on a plane. This is your Phu Quoc reality check.
Okay, surprise number 1. The most famous beach on the island, the one you see in all the ads, Sao Beach. It's often a literal trash dump.
A literal one.
Yeah, I mean, it's not permanent. It's a seasonal thing. It's all about the monsoon winds and the currents. But if you show up in a wrong month and the wind's blowing the wrong way, that paradise illusion just shatters immediately.
Okay, surprising nugget number 2. And this is where that identity crisis really, really hits home. There is an entire, fully built, completely empty fake Venice on the northern tip of the island. It's called Grand World. And it is a monumental ghost town. It is just this staggering monument to, I don't know, ambition, overdevelopment. You see it, and your brain just can't process the why.
And the third surprise, and this is the one that's going to hit your wallet the hardest, it is significantly, dramatically more expensive than mainland Vietnam. This isn't just a little markup. This is a real island tax.
Right. So that well-crafted Hanoi budget where you're living on $30 a day, drinking Bai Ahoy.
That budget will die. A quick, expensive death right here on Phu Quoc. You have to totally recalibrate what you think things cost.
And that leads to the big downside you have to accept going in. Huge parts of this island just feel soulless. If your goal is to find genuine traditional Vietnamese culture, you are going to have to fight for it. You're going to have to get on a scooter and really search for it under this thick layer of concrete.
But, and this is the bold claim we're making, heavily supported by the logistics. For a very specific type of traveler, we're talking families who need things to be easy, or just exhausted expats who are at the end of a long trip. For them, Phu Quoc is probably the single best logistical decision you can make in the whole country.
It's a utility play. It offers this polished convenience and comfort that, chaotic Hanoi or culturally rich Hoi An just can't match. And we promise by the end of this deep dive, we will tell you the one coast you have to stay on to avoid the garbage. And we'll explain why hunting down and eating a local herring salad might be the most authentic thing you do all week.
Okay, let's get into it. This radical transition. Where did it all begin?
Let's set that stage first, because you have to understand the context of why this is all happening so fast. Why did this island, which for so long was just known for fish sauce and pepper, suddenly find itself in this state of flux? It really starts with that divide between the Instagram photo and the expensive reality. Oh, that's the classic conflict, isn't it? You see that
Mhm.
one perfect picture, the impossibly blue water, the white sand, that one single perfectly leaning palm tree.
Right, with the yoga pose underneath it.
Exactly. And that image suggests, wild, untamed nature.
But the reality is that it's a managed experience now, that perfect scene. It exists. But you have to pay for it. You're either paying hundreds of dollars a night for a resort that meticulously cleans its private beach, or you're renting a scooter and driving for an hour or more to find one of the few spots that are left undeveloped.
So why is this happening now? The key term here is Special Economic Zone, SEZ.
Exactly. The Vietnamese government made a strategic decision about a decade ago. This wasn't organic growth. This was a top-down, state-mandated overhaul of the entire island.
And the goal was what?
The stated goal was to turn it into the Phu Quoc of Vietnam, a massive international tourism hub. And that designation came with tax breaks, easier permits, and that crucial 30-day visa exemption we have to talk about later. It was all designed to attract huge investment.
And they put their money where their mouth is. We're talking billions of dollars in infrastructure, a modern airport, those huge 6-lane highways. The problem is the infrastructure got here before the people did, which is why you have these pockets of just emptiness.
And you don't have to look hard for the evidence of this transition. It's everywhere. You'll be driving down this massive 6-lane highway built for like rush hour in a major city, and it's cutting right through red dirt and jungle. The scale is just completely off.
And that creates this really jarring socioeconomic conflict. You see these glittering 5-star resorts being built literally next to these tiny tin shack fishing hamlets.
Yeah, and tragically, those hamlets where families have lived for generations,
Yeah.
they're often facing eviction notices to clear the land for the next big resort. The old life is actively being displaced.
And then there's what we've been calling the skeleton coast. This might be the most depressing visual sign of this troubled transition. They're just the gray, concrete skeletons of massive, unfinished hotels.
Right. Construction started, then COVID hit, financing dried up, and they just stopped.
Yeah.
And they never restarted. So now you have these huge derelict structures just gotting the coastline. They're decaying before they ever even had a single guest.
Okay, so despite all these flaws, there has to be a reason they chose Phu Quoc for all this. What's the strategic advantage?
Well, location is key. It's tucked away in the Gulf of Thailand. It's actually closer to Cambodia than it is to a lot of Vietnam.
But the real asset, the thing the entire industry here is built on, is its weather.
It's the weather strategy. This is absolutely crucial. When the rest of coastal Vietnam, we're talking Da Nang, Hoi An, Nha Trang, when they're getting hit by typhoons and torrential rain in, say, October or November, Phu Quoc is just starting its perfect guaranteed dry season.
So it's a safe bet for winter sun.
An incredibly reliable bet. And that climate utility is what justifies the whole investment, at least in the government's eyes.
But the downside of all this aggressive development is what you call the uncanny valley of tourism. This is where that bizarre copy of Italy comes in.
It's staggering. We're talking about two main developments. The Mediterranean town, or Sunset Town in the south, and Grand World up north.
Yep.
You arrive expecting bamboo and thatched roofs, and instead you get these massive, meticulous replicas of the Amalfi Coast.
I mean, the sources describe pastel-colored buildings, huge clock towers that don't do anything, even fake Roman ruins placed just for photos. It's a total sensory overload that feels completely disconnected from where you actually are. But is it busy? Do these places feel alive?
No, and that's the chilling part. They're profoundly empty. It feels exactly like a movie set after the director yells cut and everyone's gone home. They exist mainly for domestic tourists to come and take highly curated photos for their social media. For a Western traveler looking for authenticity, it'll probably make your skin crawl.
So you have to reframe your entire expectation.
Completely. The old untouched Phu Quoc is gone. It died around 2015. The new expectation has to be accessible tropical comfort.
The decompression chamber.
Exactly. It's a vacation for your vacation. After the chaos of Hanoi or Ho Chi Minh City, it serves a purpose.
It's about ease and predictability over raw adventure. And if you can accept that, you can have a great time. Okay, let's get practical. Arrival, logistics, and that unavoidable island tax.
Your journey starts at PQC, the Phu Quoc International Airport. And it's actually impressive. It's surprisingly modern, clean, super efficient. It runs like a major regional hub.
And then you step outside?
And the humidity just hits you. It's thicker, saltier than on the mainland. And you see that color palette everywhere. The red dirt, the green pepper vines, and the gray concrete skeletons of those unfinished hotels.
Okay, before we even get in a taxi, We have to talk about the visa situation, because there's a huge trip-destroying trap hiding in what seems like a great deal.
This is probably the most important piece of advice in this entire deep dive. So the deal is, all nationalities can enter Phu Quoc visa-free for 30 days, which sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's a huge win.
It is, but here's the trap. It only applies if you fly directly into Phu Quoc from another country, or if you transit through another Vietnamese airport, but you never leave the transit zone.
So what happens if you use the exemption, and then a few days later you decide, hey, I want to go see Ho Chi Minh City?
You can't. You are effectively confined to the island. You cannot just buy a local ticket and fly to the mainland. You're stuck.
You're literally handcuffed to the island.
Literally. And the only way out is a last-minute, incredibly stressful and expensive scramble to get a full visa, which can take days.
So what's the fix?
The fix is simple, but it's mandatory. If there's any chance at all, that you might want to see the rest of Vietnam, you have to get the normal e-visa online before you travel. It costs $25. Think of that $25 as travel insurance against getting trapped.
Okay, so you've sorted your visa, you get to your hotel, and then the island starts to seduce you, and it does it with its sunsets.
This is its biggest geographical advantage. Most of Vietnam's coast faces east. Phu Quoc faces west.
The West Coast advantage. And the sources describe the sunsets as almost violent. Just these incredible colors melting into this calm, flat water that looks like a lake. You're sitting there in a plastic chair, feet in the sand, cold beer in your hand, and that's the moment the island just clicks.
It really does. The pace slows down, you're not fighting traffic, it's intoxicating. And then you order dinner, and the bill comes. And reality hits you like one of those silent electric buses.
The island tax.
The island tax. Our sources tracked it pretty carefully. Almost everything has about a 30% markup compared to the mainland.
Give me a concrete example.
Okay. Grilled squid and 2 beers at a beachside spot. On the mainland, say in Da Nang, that's maybe 150,000 dong, about $6 US.
And on Phu Quoc?
350,000 dong, about $14.
More than double. And that adds up fast. You have to recalibrate your entire budget.
So let's break down that budget, starting with accommodation. This is where it gets tricky.
Low budget options like dorms are what, $8 to $12?
Yeah, but they're often pretty run down, or they're hardcore party hostels in the main tourist strip. So noisy. A basic private room starts around $25, but again, the quality can be really inconsistent.
So where's the sweet spot?
Mid-range. 100%. The best return on investment is in that $40 to $70 a night range. For that price, you get a nice boutique bungalow, usually in the Ong Lang area, with a clean pool, good AC, and breakfast included. That's the line between an uncomfortable trip and a really comfortable one.
And the sources say that jumping from, say, $50 to $150, it doesn't really get you 3 times the quality.
Not at all. You're just paying for branding or resort amenities you might not even use. The high end is world class, don't get me wrong. The JW Marriott can be $500 a night. But for most people, mid-range is where the value is.
What about food costs? Even street food gets the tax.
Oh, yeah. A bama, that's 80 cents on the mainland. Here it's $1.50, $1.75. Again, it's a small difference, but over a week it really accumulates.
And a local seafood dinner for 2.
You're looking at $25 to $35, assuming you avoid the main tourist traps.
Which brings us to the Dimong Dong night market.
Yes, a specific urgent warning about the night market. The sources call it a tourist extraction machine. The main trap is the seafood stalls. They price by weight, and the scales are, let's just say, optimistic.
So you have to be careful.
You have to be vigilant. Confirm the total weight and the final price before they cook anything. Otherwise, you could end up paying triple what you expected.
Okay, what about activities? The cable car.
That's about $25 per person, but it does include the water park. Island hopping tours are $20 to $30. A scooter, which is 100,000 dong on the mainland, is 150 to 200,000 here. $6 to $8 a day.
So a daily budget for a backpacker.
It's tough. You'd struggle to stay under $45 a day.
A mid-range couple.
I'd say $120 a day total to be comfortable. That gets you a nice room, good dinners, transport.
And luxury is $350 plus. So in terms of value, it's still cheaper than Phuket.
Cheaper than Phuket, yes, but significantly more expensive than Da Nang. You're paying a premium for convenience and that reliable weather. It's a utility purchase, not a value one.
Okay, this next part is all about the actionable fixes. The logistical traps that can really ruin a trip if you get them wrong.
And the first one, trap number 1, is what we're calling the base camp error. People look at the map and think the island is small. It's not.
Right. The sources say it's an hour's drive from north to south.
That's speed, so you can't just walk everywhere. And if you book a hotel in the wrong spot, you'll spend your whole holiday in a taxi.
So location is everything. Where should you absolutely avoid staying?
Avoid Duangdong town. It's the main hub, but it's noisy, it's got a lot of traffic, and the main beach there, Long Beach, is often crowded and not the cleanest.
So where are the recommended spots?
First and foremost, Ong Lang. It's on the central west coast. It's still got a lot of trees, a bit of a jungle feel. It's quieter, the beaches are cleaner, and it's mostly smaller, boutique-style places. Perfect for that mid-range couple.
And the other option?
The Novotel area. It's good for convenience, close to the airport, good access to the south without being stuck in the fake towns. The far south is only if you're staying at a high-end resort like the Marriott. The far north is only for total isolation, or if you're there for Vin Wonders and the safari.
And just a quick reminder on trap number 2, the visa handcuffs. Again, take that visa-free entry and you cannot leave the island for the mainland. Get the $25 e-visa. It's not worth the risk.
Okay, now for trap number 3. The brutal truth about the garbage problem.
This is a big one, because you could show up to a beach you've seen in photos and it looks like a landfill.
And you need to understand the mechanism. It's not a constant problem everywhere. It's dynamic. It's driven by the wind and the seasons.
Okay, so rainy season, May to October.
The wind blows from the west, and it pushes all the ocean garbage onto the west coast beaches, the ones where all the resorts are.
But then dry season, which is peak tourist time, November to April.
The wind shifts, so the west coast becomes pristine and clean. But all that trash and gets dumped on the east side of the island, including the famous Sao Beach. One side is clean, the other is dirty. It's a seesaw.
So the fix is to get real-time intel.
Exactly. Check forums, ask people who are just there, or just look at a weather app and see which way the wind is blowing. And if the beach at your hotel is dirty, you have to be willing to get on a scooter and drive to the opposite side of the island. The conditions will almost always be the opposite.
What about connectivity? Wi-Fi?
Generally good in the main tourist areas, a testament to that infrastructure investment. But your 4G will probably die if you go deep into the national park in the north. So download your maps.
And transport on the ground. You said Grab is expensive.
It is. A 20-minute ride is about $10.
Yeah.
Taxis will try to avoid the meter. Always insist on it or just use Grab.
And the scooter risk.
Yeah.
You said it's profound.
It really is. I would only recommend it if you are a very confident, experienced rider in Southeast Asia. The roads are new and fast, but the big construction dump trucks drive dangerously. They do not follow the rule.
Plus, there's sand and gravel on the roads from all the construction sites.
Right, which makes them really slippery. The sources saw 3 accidents involving tourists on scooters in 4 days.
It's a genuine safety hazard. So what's the fix if you're not a confident rider?
You just have to accept the cost. Budget $30 a day for Grab. It's an island tax on your safety. And it's one you should probably pay. Don't risk a broken leg to save $20 a day.
Okay, let's move into the actual experience. The risks, the scams, and the highs and lows.
Let's start with physical safety. Violent crime against tourists is almost non-existent. The island is very safe in that respect.
But the real danger is negligence, and that means traffic.
It's almost entirely traffic.
Yeah.
And you have to be aware of those weird, silent VinBus electric buses. They're fast and they're quiet. They can really sneak up on you.
What about scams? What's the Pearl Farm stop?
Ah, yes. If you book any kind of island tour, the driver will almost certainly stop at a pearl farm. They say it's an educational stop.
But it's not.
No, it's a high-pressure sales room. The pearls are real, but they're marked up by like 300%. The advice is simple. Be polite, say no, use the bathroom, walk through, and leave. Don't feel obligated to buy anything.
And health risks. Food poisoning.
It's a slightly higher risk than the mainland, just because of the seafood turnover.
Ugh.
The key is, at the night market, don't just go to the stall with the brightest neon signs. Look for the stalls that are busy with local Vietnamese people. That's your best sign of freshness and quality.
Okay, and the environmental risk. Sandflies.
They are vicious, especially on the wilder beaches like Starfish Beach right around sunset. The bites are incredibly itchy and last for days.
So you need repellent.
You need strong D. Sunscreen does nothing. Coconut oil helps a little, but really you need proper strong repellent if you plan on being on the sand between 5 and 7 p.m.
And what about just dealing with the climate, the heat?
You have to structure your day around it. From about 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. is what the sources call dead time. It's oppressively hot and humid. Don't plan on walking around the fake towns or hiking. It's pool time or nap time. It's a necessity.
Okay, let's talk about the emotional highs and lows, the best moments and the dystopian ones.
Let's start with the good stuff, the authentic finds. They do exist, but you have to work for them. One of the best moments described was from driving north through the national park and just pulling off the main road onto a little dirt track near Gondao.
And what did they find?
A truly quiet, empty beach. The water was like glass. You could see Cambodia across the channel, just sitting there, watching the fishing boats, no construction noise, no crowds. That's the moment that feels like the Phu Quoc of 1995. That's the reward.
And the other high point was actually an engineered one, the cable car.
Yes. It's a pure tourist attraction, but the engineering is undeniably world-class. It's the longest non-stop three-way cable car in the world, and for $25, the view you get is spectacular, flying over those little islands and the fishing fleets. It's absolutely worth it.
But those highs are contrasted by some pretty monumental disappointments. Let's talk more about Grand World, the dystopian Venice.
It's depressing. You have these beautiful canals and bridges,
Mm-hmm.
and no one's there. The sources describe seeing the free water taxi, and the gondolier just looked completely bored.
Mm-hmm.
While opera music was blasting into these totally empty streets, it's unsettling.
A massive waste of
A
resources.
huge waste. It's this sterile, silent, haunting place. The perfect example of build it and they will come, not working out.
And maybe the most heartbreaking part was Starfish Beach.
The ecological betrayal.
Yeah.
That's what it was. So you take this spine-shattering dirt road to get there. You finally arrive. And the starfish are there, these beautiful red starfish. But tourists were picking them up out of the water,
Mm-hmm.
stacking them into little piles for photos.
And they can't survive out of the water.
They die very quickly. They breathe through their skin. And the worst part was the local guides weren't stopping them. They were letting it happen. It's this tragic scene where the desire for the perfect photo is literally killing the thing people came to see.
Let's circle back to that authentic find we talked about, the herring salad. Goi ka trich.
Yes. This dish is like the last vestige of the island's true cultural identity. It's a raw fish salad specific to this region. Fresh herring, lime juice, shredding coconut, herbs, and you wrap it all up in rice paper.
And its quality depends entirely on the freshness of the fish.
Exactly. And the local knowledge of how to prepare it. Finding a little local spot outside the main tourist track that's full of Vietnamese people eating this dish, that's your connection to the island's history, to its life before the mega resorts. It might be the only time all week you feel like you're actually in the real Phu Quoc.
Okay, so we've covered the good, the bad, and the very, very weird. If someone's listening to this and thinking, this sounds way too developed for me, what are the alternatives?
We've got a few, based on what you're looking for. Alternative one, if you're not what Phu Quoc used to be, is the Condao Islands.
Right, the spiritual successor.
Wow.
Quiet, historical, beautiful.
Exactly. But the trade-off is huge. Flights are expensive, it's harder to get to, there's no nightlife, and the weather is windier. You're trading all convenience for pure authenticity.
Okay, alternative 2, the backpacker vibe.
That's Koh Rong Sanlam in Cambodia, just across the water. It's all sand paths, no real roads, super laid back. But the logistics are a nightmare. Bus and ferry to get there, power cuts, unreliable Wi-Fi, no ATMs. It's rustic to the extreme.
And a mainland option.
Queen Honor. South of Da Nang, you get these huge empty beaches, but it's a city beach mix, not an island. Fewer Western amenities, but also fewer tourists and much lower prices.
And if you are going to Phu Quoc, you recommend pairing it with Ho Chi Minh City, not Hanoi?
Yes. The flight from Hanoi is too long and expensive for a short trip. The perfect itinerary is 3 days of chaos and culture in Ho Chi Minh City. Then fly down for 4 days of pure relaxation on Phu Quoc. It's the perfect sequence. Culture first, then use Phu Quoc as that decompression chamber.
So it's time for the final verdict. Is it worth it?
We had to break it down by traveler type. First, the backpacker.
That's a no.
A resounding NO. Too expensive, hostels are mediocre, not worth it.
The mid-range couple?
A yes, but it's conditional. You have to be smart. Stay in Ong Lang, rent a scooter, curate your trip, focus on the sunsets and the seafood. If you do that, it could be great.
The family trip.
A hard yes. This is who the island is for now. The logistics are a dream for families. It's safe, the resorts are set up for kids, and Vin Wonders and the safaris are excellent.
And the luxury traveler.
Also a yes. The top-end resorts are spectacular. If you're happy to stay within those beautiful grounds and accept that it's not authentic Vietnam outside the gates, you'll have an incredible time.
So the final summary is that it's a utility destination.
Exactly. You don't go for adventure or deep cultural immersion. You go for relaxation and convenience. You go when you're exhausted, and you just need an easy, comfortable beach holiday with guaranteed good weather.
To recap, best time is November to March. Best base is On Lang for vibes, or the Novotel area for convenience.
And remember, go for the sunsets, tolerate the construction, and eat the herring salad. And please, check the wind direction before you book your hotel.
So we've covered the whole island transition. From an empty Venice to an engineering marvel of a cable car. It's a place of incredible contrasts.
It really is. And that duality is what makes it so compelling. It's caught between being this beautiful natural wonder and this massive engineered spectacle.
Which leaves us with one final provocative thought for you to take away. If Phu Quoc is the blueprint for future tourism development in Vietnam, what is the true hidden cost of creating this kind of accessible tropical comfort on local culture and on the fragile ecology?
Right? We've seen the evidence. The construction skeletons, the displaced communities, the dead starfish on the beach. The big question is, how long can the island's main advantage, that great weather, outweigh its growing structural flaws, like the garbage and the soulless development? That's the balance it's fighting to maintain right now. And you could argue it's losing.
Something to think about the next time you see an ad promising an untouched paradise.
Absolutely. Thanks for diving deep with us.
See you on the next deep dive.